What's up?
I'm gonna let you do it all on your own.
You guys didn't even help me.
It is on purpose. I knew you were gonna do it.
Heck yeah, I was gonna do it. I have to keep the tradition alive. If somebody doesn't do it, who's going to?
I don't know, but some traditions are okay to die.
I think when you guys did when you hosted the Coffee with Michael a few weeks back, or the Coffee with ShineOn, rather, you guys opened it up with "What's up," didn't you?
Nope.
I don't remember.
Then we joked about it.
You did do the Digital Marketer's Toast, though.
We did do the Digital Marketer's Toast. That's absolutely correct. That tradition I like. So that tradition I have no problem keeping on.
How are we doing, Kirsta?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. Uh-oh, it looks like your video's frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, the interwebs.
Uh-oh. We're losing you, buddy. Your connection's not very good. Jim and I were joking that Kirsta's back is against the wall today.
That's right. It's up against the wall today, folks. We're going to give him some of the best message cards to critique. He's got to give $1 million advice. Otherwise,
there we go. All right. So today, everybody, we're doing product teardowns. We have 3 new products, actually, that we launched this week. We want to talk about very briefly. We've got a contest and a few announcements as per usual around here, but we're also going to be doing product teardown. So for those of you who have never been part of one of these, we actually pull up your products, only those that have submitted their products for review, right? And we will display them here and we'll go through them and kind of tear them down on video. Tear down sounds really scary. We're pretty gentle about it. The idea is to provide constructive feedback for everybody. So we'll probably go through 3-4 of them, and then we'll do kind of one group one where we'd like to hear from you and how you think you would improve one of the products. So anyways, we'll get there. It'll make sense. We find these super valuable, and the community tends to love them as well, because you can learn a lot by having some experienced marketers in this space actually go through the products and tell you what could be improved, what's wrong with it, what probably isn't going to land with the audience, and so on and so forth. Now, quick roll call here. So Jim here has sold like 30 kajillion dollars worth of product, both in the print on demand and the drop ship space. He's been with ShineOn now for how long? A year? 9 months?
Close. Somewhere between like 6 and 8 months, something like that. June's my anniversary.
Wow, it seems like so much longer in a good way. Right. We're just moving fast over here. So yeah, Jim's got a ton of experience. He really knows what he's doing. He's kind of an expert in the space. So yeah, Jim will be here to provide some really good advice. And then Kirsta, everybody knows Kirsta around here. Kirsta's probably like ShineOn's all-time bestseller. If I had to guess, how many millions of dollars worth of revenue have you generated so far, Kirsta, and just ShineOn products?
I think I'm nearing 8 million.
Yeah, so 8 million. So guy's an absolute beast, but he knows what it takes to create winning products, which is why you should tune in today and pay attention to this. And then I also was a top seller with ShineOn for like 2 or 3 years in the running. I had like a $92,000 day. That was kind of the thing that put me on the map. So anyways, I think between the 3 of us, we've probably seen more winning print-on-demand products than maybe anybody else on the planet. Now, I could be way off on that, but this is all we do. We're looking at these day in and day out. So real exciting show for you today. But before we can kick things off, you know how we do around here? Oh, we lost Kirsta again. We like to get going with a digital marketer toast. What's that?
You'll have to just say it verbally. Oh, there he is.
Yeah.
People are going through the wall. I didn't want to show people going through the wall.
This is the thing that makes everything better. It connects everybody on the stream. It lowers your CPMs. It increases your conversion rates on your websites. It keeps your ad accounts from getting banned. So do this for production. Do this for life. The Digital Marketer's Toast, everybody. Raise up your glasses, mugs, bottles, and flasks. Join me now for the Digital Marketer's Toast. Here's to more conversions, more cash, cheap CPMs, and lower CACs, higher CTRs, much higher CVRs to enable ad accounts and big bank accounts. To upsells, downsells, and cross-sells, the winning products and repeat sales, and to the thing that everybody knows, the riches are in the niches, but also your email flows. Are you ready? Cheers, everybody. Drink up.
Cheers.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So,
It is
Jim,
okay.
you drank water. What do you drink, Kirsta?
I had an espresso, like very European. I also have like sparkling water as well. Like me and Jim, like always when we're in a meeting,
We connect
always
on that.
We connect.
Yes.
Top minds think alike.
You like your expensive.
So that's the thing.
water.
If you want to become a top ShineOn seller, you must drink your fizzy water, sparkling
It is
water.
actually really, it is weird. Probably 50% of the employees drink that stuff.
So like trying to lose some weight, it fills your stomach up. But
Okay,
it's still
fair
just
enough.
water. It's water and carbonation.
That's an interesting point. I never looked at it like that. I've just always looked at it as like more expensive water.
Well, I'm addicted to soda, and the carbonation helps me not be addicted to soda.
There you go. I mean, that makes sense. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining. We're going to take a look here at the comments. We got a bunch of them rolling in. Do me a favor. Like the post. If you enjoy the Coffee with Michaels, you enjoy Jim and Kirsta and all the kind of content we like to put out, please show some love. Like the post. If you're on YouTube, make sure what is it on YouTube? I always forget. You like the videos, I think?
Yes.
Is what you do on YouTube?
You can't dislike it. Because they removed that feature.
Yeah, I know. We were joking about that a few weeks ago on here, actually. Yep. Yeah, like the post, like the video, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Make sure you join the Facebook group. Do all the cool stuff that you're supposed to do to make sure that the algorithms know you love us. All right, we got Jamie from Philadelphia. What's up? Bill from Connecticut. How you doing? Fatumata from New York City. I hope I said that right. Apologize if I didn't. Gary Hare, what's up? Dean, how you doing? Thanks for being here. Facebook user from Naples, Florida. As per usual, Facebook users all across the world, as we see. Tammy, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in. Humberto, good morning. Dean, what's up? Dave, how you doing? Vincent from California. West Side. Am I allowed to do that on here?
Oh, wait. I thought it was really early over there. I'm like, oh, it's only 8:15. I was up at 4:40 this morning.
Nice, dude.
That's because of my kid.
That's I like to get up really early, but I'm fresh in the morning. I get up about 5 a.m. and start hitting it. Welsh cappuccino. How you doing? That's pretty cool. Let's see. Thanks for being here. All right. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate you. Let's get into it. Excited for today's show here. All right, testimonials. Each week we feature some testimonials and some people get some free swag. So first up, we have Jill here. First sales this week hitting Mother's Day UK. Yes, thank you for focusing on that. Huge opportunity when we overlook it every year. Big thanks to Michael, Chris, and Ronnie for teaching me everything I know so far. $411 in revenue, 7 units in the last 7 days. Congratulations, Jill. Getting the first few sales is always it's a huge milestone for people because it shows you what's possible in the space. It's pretty amazing. Bakri here, first sale on Etsy from the Philippines. Published these listings 2 months ago. I have a total of 12 listings. Just be patient and the sales will come. Short messages, dark background, transparent, grayish illustrations. Simple designs are convincing, less distraction to the jewelry. Is all of that true? We'll find out today in the product teardowns. It's going to be fun. $50 in revenue at 1 unit sold. Thank you, Bakri, for sharing your testimony. You got some swag coming your way. Maria got this lovely message on my phone. First Etsy sale. It's a nice way to end the day. Boom. By the way, these are always cool. If you have these turned on for Shopify or Etsy, I think Etsy comes through with a little cash register noise, which is kind of neat. It can be annoying if your store is pretty active, but it's pretty cool at first, for sure. So anyway, thank you, Maria, for sharing this. You've got some swag coming your way. If you want to get some free swag, each week we randomly grab 2 to 5 posts from the group and give some swag. We're looking for things like testimonials with a screenshot of new sales milestones. Doesn't always have to be your first sales. It can be 100 sales, 1,000 sales, 5,000 sales. It can be a revenue number, anything like that. We just want to celebrate with you. And then value posts, tips, tricks, things like that. Please drop those in the group. We'll grab one of them out of there and we'll give some free swag. All right, let's get into some news. We're running a testimonial contest right now, video testimonial contest right now. It ends March 31st. That's next Thursday. So here's the thing. We've decided to spice it up a little bit. So one lucky person, if you submit your video testimonial today, one lucky person is going to get the recordings of the mastermind we did this week for free. So for those of you who don't know, we did like a 5-hour ShineOn virtual mastermind this week. Kirsta spoke, Jim spoke, Steve, John, who else?
You.
Yeah, I was just a Q&A though. I didn't speak.
Yep. There were 5 sessions. You were the 5th session. So
okay, there you go. So it's like, I think it's 4-5 hours of content, something like that. It's fairly high level. We geared most of it towards top sellers. So if you want some more advanced stuff, it's a pretty good value. We're giving away the recordings free to one person if you submit your video today. So please go to contest.shineon.com and just drop a video testimony. It can be 20 seconds, 30 seconds long. You can do it from your cell phone. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Literally just hop on there and say, hey, you love ShineOn, what ShineOn has done for you, maybe achieving your first sales, the content we put out, the community, anything like that. Just talk about it for 15, 30 seconds, record it. We would really, really appreciate that. So contest.shineon.com. If you want to do that, one lucky person is going to get the recordings to the virtual mastermind. All right. The Mom You Mental Challenge is here. ShineOnChallenge.com, ShineOnChallenge.com. Registration for this closes next Thursday as well. This is a free challenge we're running. It's geared towards new people. So if you're new, please go register for the challenge. It's a great way to get in with a cohort of other people that are trying to learn, their way around the space and they want to get their first sale. Tammy, our fearless leader, is going to be hosting this whole thing, and she does an amazing job. She connects really well with the audience. She's there with the education and the support. It's really a great place to get on your feet if you're brand new. So go check that out, ShineOnChallenge.com. All right. New products. We have 3 new ones. We're pretty excited about these. So this one, this one's forever linked, right?
correct.
Oh, yeah, it says so right here. Whoops. I was having a little bit of a brain fart here. Okay, so this one's called Forever Linked. It has 700 sparkling cubic zirconia in it. You can see all the sparkles here in the chain. This is based on a design that is super popular right now. Jim, I think you know a little bit more about that than me. Can you speak on that for two?
Yeah,
3?
so the paperclip style of necklace is probably the largest trend in the jewelry space, if you will, the normal non-gifty jewelry, just jewelry space in general, that is out there. So what we wanted to do was do our flair of it, our version of a linked one. And there are some really cheap options out there that I've seen in the marketplace, and they're just regular chains. There's nothing special about them. And in the research, I found that there's some, the best named brands out there have their versions, and they're usually encrusted with diamonds, and they sell for tens of thousands of dollars. So the motivation behind this particular design is, how do we make that look, that incredibly tens of thousands of dollars look that's out there, to an affordable price point. So this is obviously a higher price point than a typical necklace would be for us, but it's by purpose, right? It's to increase AOVs, but the quality in this necklace is phenomenal. I've seen it in person. I'm super proud of this one, and I can't wait to see all the success that's going to come from it.
Yeah, it's in some of the images too. Like there's this one right here, man. You can just see the cubic zirconia and kind of the light jumping off of there. So yeah, this one's really cool. It's a higher price point item. Comes in 14K white gold, 14K yellow gold finish. Base cost on this is $54.70. It's high, but the suggested selling price on it is $199.95, right? So you're looking at a profit margin of $145, which is pretty insane for a product. So this is going to work really well with paid traffic. Ships from the USA and the EU. So folks over in Europe, you're on the boat for this one. But the necklace only comes with the mahogany box. So again, this is all about maintaining that like high perceived value and providing a really high quality gift. So you're definitely going to want to check this out. We're really excited about this one. This is one the team has been working on since the beginning of the year. So we're excited to be able to bring this to everybody. So again, it's based on a trending style. That's what's kind of neat about this. So you're going to want to jump on this right away.
Can I say one last thing on it?
Absolutely.
When you're designing your marketing messages around, make the direct correlation. You've seen it in advertising all the time where they'll pick on a competitor or something like that and how we're so much better. What I would do is design the messaging around, get the $55,000 look without the $55,000 price tag, because that is legitimately what this necklace was designed after, was a $55,000 necklace.
Yeah, and the competitor, I don't want to say the company name because it might get me in trouble, but the competitor name starts with a T and rhymes with Biffany. So if you just do the math there, you'll figure it out. That's the competitor who's got this necklace. So you might be able to kind of go look at some of their marketing material, how they're angling this thing, and maybe pick up some best practices. But you can also use it in your ad copy, kind of like what Jim was talking about. Mm-hmm. Anything else? Kirsta, you want to add anything to this one?
I can just say that it's selling at the prices that you're putting out there on the slide. So I don't think it's a far reach for anyone to achieve the same. So the price points are working, the profits are there. I mean, it helps exponentially when you've got traffic, when you've got channels like Facebook that are becoming more expensive. So it's the perfect product placement for a channel like that.
Yeah, dig it, man. Thank you for that. All right, the next one is the CZ Cross necklace. So we've had tons and tons of requests to get the necklace out there, except the one that's a little bit more feminine and not so masculine, like the one we had before. So we had two kind of cross necklaces before. We had the engraved one, and then, sorry, not the engraved one, the graphic cross. And then we also had the engraved one too. So they just, both of them are a little bit kind of masculine in their look. So it was a huge request to have one that was a little bit more feminine, and we have delivered. So this is going to be perfect for Easter. It'd probably sell pretty well for Mother's Day as well. 32 cubic zirconia wrapped up in this thing, 14K white gold finish. Base cost $1,580 and $2,580. You can probably sell this thing for between $55 and $75, maybe even higher if you land on a winning message card. And don't forget about all the upsells you're going to be able to pair this thing with. Ships from the USA and the EU. Jim and Kirsta, do you have anything you want to add on this one?
Again, it's the higher perceived value where it's, the CZ encrusted with the large center stones. So think of it as the end of like Eternal Hope, right? Like Eternal Hope also had that big center CZ with the CZs around it. So Easter is when I go to church. Our pastors always talk about Easter being like the church's Super Bowl. So it is a massive time for Christians, and there's a lot of opportunity in the marketplace. Pair this with a really uplifting, heartwarming, or sentimental verse from the Bible, and then it's got a ton of built-in targeting, both on Facebook and on TikTok and other conservative area networks, and it should pretty much sell itself.
Yeah, and also don't forget that a lot of people dress up for church. It's kind of falling out of custom, I think, a little bit in the United States, but there are still lots and lots and lots of people that dress up when they go to church on Sundays. The collared shirts and whatever else come out. And this is a great gift just to kind of help with that alone, right? I mean, people are going to be looking for jewelry, church appropriate jewelry to wear on Sundays and special events and things like that. So this could be a massive seller. Kirsta, do you have anything you want to add to this one?
Yeah, I think our suggested pricing, I would probably go $20 above. Like my price with the mahogany box would probably be around the $90. Like I've seen other products similar to this, at the 100, 110 price point. So I think, there's plenty more juice in it. Again, you can test the pricing against one another and see how it goes. But I think, you can probably push around the, at least $90 mark with the mahogany style box, because that's what we can get out of the Eternal Hope as well. And I think that this is a bit more iced out in terms of the CZ, so it's got a bit more bling in it. So I think, you can definitely push up the prices on this one on paid traffic, especially on videos where you can shimmer the necklace and show it how much shine it has. I think you can really push close to the $100 mark fairly easily with this one.
Well, I also got to think with the mahogany box and that little LED light, this thing is going to be fire for videos, because like the lights just going to dance on that cubic zirconia. Hang on just a sec. For those that haven't seen the mahogany style box, I mean, this is it. In real life here, the lighting is not the greatest in my office right now, but it's real solid. It's got kind of a snap to it. There's a magnet. There's like magnets here, which kind of holds the box closed. It feels good. It's got a weight to it that makes it feel like it's really high quality. But I want you to see the light on the inside. Like that light is just going to come down and land right on top of the cross there, and it's just going to dance on that cubic zirconia. So it's going to be great for video. Also, quick props on the boxes. This box here, I think, is over a year old, and look at that light. Still going, baby. Still going. All right. Let's keep moving here. All right. Metal art. So we got 6 new metal art designs that we've launched. So I think our total now, we're somewhere I think we're getting close to 30 total metal art designs launched. Hopefully I don't overstate that. So the metal, 16 gauge, pretty good thickness. They come in 15, 18, 24, and 30-inch sizes. Black, silver, and copper colors available. 3 tiers of design complexity. So it just means the pricing tiers are dependent upon how complex the design is. A lot of these can be personalized. If you look at this one here, it's got like I should probably blow this up a little bit bigger, but this one's got a name in it. It's like a monogram plus a name. So you can see a big A right here in the middle. And then it says Alexander. This one says Samson. Tucker over here is kind of a trucker one. If anybody wants to try to jump on any of the trends right now with some of the protests. This one here really stood out to me. I thought it was pretty cool because it's so ornate. Let me blow this up just so everybody can see it here. Hopefully that's a little bit better for everybody. Oh, what did it do that for? Hang on. Sorry, guys. Order, bring to front. There we go. Okay. So if you look here, this one is like flowers and stuff, which it's kind of ornate. I thought it would do really well for Mother's Day, maybe even like an Easter gift. And I don't know, this one, I saw this and I was like, this is something I think my mom could go for, my grandma could go for. It seemed like a pretty cool gift idea. And then we also have this one over here, faith, hope, and love, kind of the standard messaging on it. Jim, Kirsty, you guys have anything you want to say on these?
They're super broad products, so target very broad, run traffic towards them. I do highly recommend that you get a sample of them. If you start with slideshow videos of focusing on the different imagery that we provide as far as the different renders. But if you find one that's got some nibbles that you're close to break even on, definitely get a sample of it so that you can actually hold it in your hands, do real videos with it, because that's where the profits are gonna lie.
Yep, 100%. We're also going to do our best to start creating some UGC around the metal art in particular, because we know it'll help it sell. Kirsta, do you have anything?
No, I mean, I resonate with what Jim said. We got quite a lot of success with slideshows, but to move it up one level, the UGC will help. I mean, there's services out there where you can ship the product to someone in US if you can't do the UGC yourself. Obviously, we're going to provide some resources, but if you're anxious and you want to get that up and going, there is plenty of services out there where you can ship the product and get the creator to make the UGC for you.
Yeah, cool. Also, like I said, I think we're going to kind of ramp up on our side to try to make more kind of video around these products just to help you in your ads. I saw a comment come in and says, the truck says Tucker, not trucker. I actually thought this was a typo as well. The first time I saw it, you can personalize this with a name, and whoever did this one used the name Tucker, right?
He's Tucker the trucker.
I'm guessing they looked at this and they were like trying to think of a name to write in, and the first name that came to mind was Tucker. I wonder why. So anyway,
Tucker the trucker.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of funny. Another question here. What is UGC? UGC stands for user generated content. So, you'll see like we provide you a lot of renders, right? And a lot of them are studio style renders is what we call them inside in-house where, like for example, most of these images right here, these are like studio style renders, right? We actually have props, we have settings, we have lighting that we turn on, and we create a really nice, we take a really nice studio shot of the item. Then we have what we call UGC style renders, which they're supposed to look more like you took them with your phone, right? Or like a photo somebody would leave right in a review or something like that. And then you have true UGC, which is like UGC, which is content that a lot of times the customer would take on their own. The thing is, as a marketer, and by the way, so let me back up. The images and stuff that customers take on their own and they leave in reviews, they're extremely compelling, right? Because they're just so authentic. And as a customer, you're more likely to trust another customer's review or photo of the item. However, as marketers, if you want to be kind of savvy, you can create quote unquote UGC style content and then use it in your ads, right? So you can get over some of the you can get some of those trust factors and stuff like that into your ads. So anyways, they convert super freaking well, especially on TikTok and Facebook. So, all right, let's keep going here. Coaching. As you know, we offer coaching. We're actually doing kind of a big overhaul of all of this right now. Kirsta has been working on this almost all quarter. When are we going to be wrapped up with that? In the next 2 weeks?
Yeah. So I think the launch should be like the pre-release should be in the next couple of weeks, with the final content being available on the 1st of April. So just a month away for the official launch, which includes the TikTok course inside of it.
So what should I do? Should I tell people to just wait?
No. So basically, ShineOn coaching will still be intact. Nothing will change there per se.
Okay.
So ShineOn coaching will always have an advantage over what we're bringing out, which is kind of like a content product, which will have all of our courses inside of it. So coaching will always have that content in advance of the course. So what will happen is the content product that we're going to release in the next couple of weeks will have all of our courses. But coaching, this content has been building up in coaching for the last 3 months. So coaching is still like the forefront of where you get firsthand strategies, which are still like in draft or experimental mode. And that has led to a lot of success stories, especially most recently with our tip-top strategy, which I've seen some close to 6-figure weeks come out of that strategy in the past month. So I definitely recommend still join coaching if you want more in-depth content, and also the calls. So we have 2 weekly calls with the coaching at this current point in time.
Cool. So if you want to get into coaching, again, it's led primarily by Kirsta, although there is some other content I've created some content. I know Steven's going to get involved soon. These are just some screenshots of Kirsta's success. He did $1.4 million in revenue in October of last year. He did even more than that as we moved into December, and he had a $154,000 day, which is absolutely unbelievable. Pretty sure this is a record. Definitely at ShineOn, but it wouldn't shock me if this is like the print on demand record itself. I mean, that is an insane. it's just an insane number to hit in a single day. So yeah, if you're interested in that, go to coaching.shineon.com, coaching.shineon.com, and sign up today. All right, Shots of Espresso. We publish them every week. It's free content. It's pretty advanced, high-level stuff. Jim puts a ton of them out. Again, Jim's done like $30 kajillion in revenue on drop shipping and print on demand products. And that's not an exaggeration. He literally has done like $30 million in revenue. So he crushes it. He knows what he's talking about. He knows how to do his media buying. So go check these out. It's free content. It's unbelievable. And if you want to find any of this stuff in the group, up at the very top, you'll have this little featured button that you can click that. Anything we've marked as an announcement rolls up underneath this featured section here, and you can scroll through it and see new product releases, the Shots of Espresso, the Coffee with Michaels, anything you could ever desire, you can find right there. Jim,
You can also search if you click the little search icon there and you do hashtag shot of espresso singular, and all of them will come up.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you for that, Jim. All right. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. We're doing product teardowns today. So give me a second here. I got to make sure I can switch over. All right. Here we are. Let's see. Kirsta, are you here?
Yep.
Okay. So I see Jim's cursor. Where's yours?
I think mirror is frozen for me. Let me try reopen it again.
All right.
That's what I was looking at.
Oh, there you are. I see you now.
There we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna. All right, so we're doing product teardown. So what we're gonna do, I've got a bunch of products built into this Miro board. We're gonna go through and we're gonna read the products, and we're gonna talk about, what could be improved on the product, what could be different about it. We're gonna comment on the phrase, the design, the product choice, the niche, all that kind of stuff. And the goal is to really help you guys learn how to create better products, to find your first winning product. So we're going to do this kind of turnstile approach. Jim, do you want to kick this one off? And can we start by reading the phrase?
Yep. It says, best bonus mom, you didn't have to nurture me, to guide me, or to comfort me. You simply raised me without being asked. I am who I am today because you were there for me. I am grateful for your patience and grace. Thank you for loving me as your own. So I love that you are, whoever this is attacking the bundle set that we have with the love knot earrings with the necklace. So that right there will build in automatic boost to AOV. So as traffic gets a little bit more expensive, targeting specifically moms and mothers and stuff like that, that particular interest, especially if you're Facebook focused or if you're doing hashtag style marketing on TikTok, that will probably see a little bit of an increase, a premium, if you will, for CPM. So this will help mitigate that because you're building in a larger AOV, right? Like just like when we're doing Valentine's Day, typically you only have one significant other. Most times you have one, maybe as most as 3 mom figures. So my first advice of this beyond just before we even dive into the card itself or the message itself is split test best bonus mom, mother-in-law, and just regular mom. Okay. So same design, just change who you're going to. So now your market went from not necessarily a niched market of best bonus mom or the stepmom market, but it allows you to capture 3 different segments of it with the same design. And that goes for anyone. Like if you're going to niche down to best bonus mom and you're going to run ads to it, split test it to be best mom, best bonus mom, and best mother-in-law. All right. So potentially you could be hitting 3 different moms with the same message. As far as the layout of the card goes, I'm going to give it a pass. Normally I would give a ding on the fact that it's got a rose undertone, a back, if you will. Usually that means it's a little bit too busy for my personal opinion. However, Mother's Day, and especially I believe this is more of a pink rose as a background, a pink peach rose. I have a soft spot specifically for pink roses because those are my mom's favorite rose. So it's like a perfect product market fit for me and as an individual because I know my mom loves pink roses above all the other roses, and it is a mom gift. So for that reason, I will give that a pass. I think it works really well. If I were to critique it from a sales channel perspective, I would see more of these style in Etsy than I do on Facebook. And that's not necessarily a negative thing. I'm just looking at where naturally you would see the product. The reason I say that is that when you're doing Facebook or TikTok style ads where you have to stop someone from scrolling and you have to get them to understand or to read the phrase itself, this has a little bit busyness only because there's so much going on because you're getting more than just a necklace. So if anything, if you're going to do this for an ad, and I'm not sure if this is the ad image or just one of our renders that comes from the product page. So that if I was going to do this for an ad and I was going to run this image, I would zoom in and crop out part of here. I'll just see if I can go like this. I would zoom in to like here to where I would still include the earrings, and I would, but that zooming in by cutting out the top, the bottom, and a little bit of the side, I know you lose some of this rose here, and that's okay. That's going to zoom in on the phrase, because ultimately what gets people to click from the ad to the product page, as we've seen time and time again, is the actual words itself, the message. So the bigger, more focal point we can make the message, you're going to have a higher CTR. So I would crop it a little bit to like get the edges out. As far as, I really like the placement of the necklace over the O of mom. I think that's really, really good. If anything, I would do a small critique on best bonus, only because you don't, it's like you have more than one bonus mom. So it's like, who's not the best bonus mom, right? So it's like, if I was going to keep it best bonus mom, I would almost add 2 extra words of you're the best bonus mom. And then I would potentially, nitpicky, is move best and bonus, if you're going to keep it that way, up above and sort of centered. So I would do like best bonus, so that it fits within the necklace lay, so that the necklace itself doesn't interrupt the best bonus. I think it works perfectly well here because the love knot takes the place of the O. It doesn't necessarily interfere with the O, and then you still need to know the O, right? So this is a circular shape. It works well for best for mom itself. Plus, after she takes the necklace off, she can keep the card. Now, most moms keep all of the little cards that they get. So I would highly anticipate anyone that purchases this for a gift that their mom will keep this card. So you definitely want to have having mom underneath, having the O underneath is perfectly fine. The phrase itself, I think, is laid out correctly. It's not, it's spaced evenly. So what I don't like is when you have lines where it's like one's really long and then one's super short and then one's really long and one's like kind of long. It kind of breaks it up not too well. So I like that it is symmetrical. As far as just an eye placement, if anything, I would try to make the font size just a smidgen bigger, just to make it as easy as possible. Let me see if I can. Where's the eraser in there? That's a highlighter. Here's the eraser. Okay. And then here's that. Now, as far as placement goes, I think it's fine. I think the font looks well. I would try to blow it up a little bit. One of the trade-offs you give when you have the background and then you stick everything on sort of an overlay is that you're shrinking your area. And again, if you're putting this in Etsy or Amazon or some other sales channel, it's fine as is, because someone can go ahead and scroll over if they want to see the phrase with a zoom feature on the product page itself and read the phrase. But if it's on a news feed or on a TikTok when they're just flipping, they may not see the words enough to start reading the phrase. So definitely have an overlay on a video of talking about the phrase and moving. I think that would overcome that. As far as the words chosen, I like this one the best. Thank you for loving me as your own. I think that's super emotionally impactful for a stepmom. Having a stepmom myself and having my wife who is a stepmom to my kids, I have very intimate knowledge of what a stepmom is. And I know that they are very unsung heroes. They never get a lot of credit. And this phrase here is very helpful. It's very emotionally, it is well done. As far as I am grateful for your patience and grace. If they are Christian, I think that's going to hit home because they talk about grace all the time. So some targeting option on this might be like a Christian slant to that best bonus mom. As I don't think it's a detractor from the general audience, even if they're not Christian. I'm just saying, as far as like grace means more to someone who's an active, avid Christian, because it is talked about every message all throughout the Bible. So it might be a targeting option for you to help get the sales boosted. You didn't have to nurture me or to guide me or to comfort me. You simply raised me without being asked. I am who I am today because you were there for me. Yeah, I think the message, I think the words themselves do the job. which means that they get the emotional drive, the emotional pull that you want. So overall, I think this is a very good. I think last time we did like grading, like on a grading scale, I would give this a solid B to B plus.
Dude, that was very thorough. You did great, man. No, okay. You did great, dude. Kirsta, do you have anything to add?
Yeah, I guess I'll try to speak my side of things up, just to because for the most part, me and Jim are on the same wavelength of what's going on here. For me, like I probably wouldn't advertise with the earrings because perceived value would be higher, so people would think that this is like $150 or $200. So if you want to drive traffic for the click, I would probably just do the message card creative. You can still do like the bundle product, but the way that you would, the way that I would probably angle it is that you get these for free. So these are free gift, like as you can write that on the product page. So this is free. You get the free earrings, and then you put your compare to price at $150 or $200, and all of a sudden this looks like the best offer anywhere on the internet, right? So that's a little trick, marketing trick, which you can do to increase your clicks for cold traffic. I guess another thing, I don't really resonate with cursive font, and I'm guilty of this because I actually used the same font before, and I split tested a message card going back to like regular font similar to what Mum is here, and it actually increased the conversion rate. So I think that this font, like the cursive fonts, are generally much harder to read. So I probably stick with like super simple layout. Another thing I'd probably do is I'd probably move this up and go with to my bonus mom, going back to the message card format. I'm not saying that something like this won't work. So if you really want to know if something's going to work, you have to put advertising dollars and spend against that. Can give you based on like my millions of dollars of testing experience of what's worked for me. I'd probably go for to my bonus mom in here and use this space, and maybe I would like increase the size of this font because the message is the most important part here. So you kind of want to use this space and this space here for the message, and use this just for the to my best bonus mom. And again, like as Jim said, maybe start with a more basic design without the flowers and utilize all of this space, like right up to here for the message. So that way you get your message across, and then you can test the roses. But I would say no to like any element. Yeah.
Hey man, we're getting some feedback in the chat that you're a little difficult to hear. Just heads up.
Thanks. Let me try and move the microphone position. Is that better?
It'll take probably 30 seconds. Why don't you just keep going, and I'll monitor the chat and let you know.
Sure. So yeah, where was I? So yeah, I would probably start there and then add elements. But for Mother's Day, it's the only exception where I would allow additional elements. So this would be okay for Mother's Day. Any other time, I'd probably not use any additional elements.
You done? Or did he freeze up? I think he froze up.
I'm good. Sorry, I
think your mic actually got quieter when you moved closer.
Uh-oh, they're saying it's worse.
That's what I said. I'm like, I think it got worse. Just yell. Yell really loud, Kirst.
Okay, guys, we got you. They're mad in the chat. I've never seen them this mad before. They've got the audience has a dark side to them, that's for sure. Come kicking in our doors and burn the house down. All
Good luck. I mean, Kirst is behind a brick wall.
Yeah, it's true.
And I'm in a virtual house.
He's in his bomb shelter.
I'm in the metaverse.
All right. So hey, I'm just going to take over real quick. I'm not going to add a ton because you guys were pretty thorough. I just wanted to say a few things. First of all, this image came off the product page, just so you guys know. It didn't come off the ads. And for the most part, all of these images were the very first image on the product page, right? They were like kind of the hero image on the product page, except for a few of them where I actually had to change it. But so that's where it's coming from. They weren't from the ad creative. I still think your comments were perfect. The other thing I was going to say, just related to this one, I totally agree with Jim. Move this up. I absolutely love that you use Love Nut right there in the middle of the placement of mom. I just think that's a really clever way to do that. And Love Nut really, like, it's not difficult to read at all. Love Nut perfectly makes the O. I also really liked how the punchline of the phrase is kind of a different font. I do agree with Kirsta. You could probably pick one that's a little bit more legible, but I like how it stands out. And then finally, the only other thing I was going to say was Jim mentioned, trying to make the phrase itself a little bigger. Well, one of the things that you realize when you're looking at this is that you've got a ton of space over here on the left and right where you could probably do some of that, even like right here. So really, this whole thing could probably go up another point or two in font size, and you still would have plenty of space, like padding all the way around the design. So that's all I've got to add to this one. Kirsta, you are going to be on point for this guy. Could you read the phrase and then jump in? And also, just for time's sake here, because we've got 7 of these, maybe try to keep the feedback to 2 to 5 minutes tops, something like that.
Sure, I can. So basically, straight away, I like the bold colors, but the only thing that's challenging here is whether the audience is going to resonate with it or not. So I'd probably stick to like your plain white and black or inverted black and white sort of colors to begin with. But this is like an acceptable contrast. So you can try this as a starting point. I would probably, with this one, the text here, I'd probably go a bit bigger with the boyfriend's mom part of it and sort of fill it right up into here. So you use all of that space, but for the most part, that's fairly great. With the phrase here, I'd probably sort of center a bit. It's kind of like small and then big and then small, like it's not really centered. So I'd probably use all of the space and make that look a little bit bigger. And the font size is, I think it can go a bit bigger, especially with a lot of white space here. You can use this white space move. You can do like split the phrase in half and do half and half there, or something like that. Let's read the phrase and critique the phrase. So my heart is at peace knowing that the man I love is always loved, protected, and is being taken care of by a mother as wonderful as you are. Thank you for raising him to be the amazing man he is today. I am truly lucky to be his girlfriend, and I'm so thankful for being accepted by your loving family. So I know that this particular niche was very popular last year. So there's going to be, I think, a little bit more competition this year. The phrase, I'd say for me, it's not impactful. I think for something like this, potentially like adding a story which they can potentially resonate with. So like a moment like that really resonates with the heartstrings in the strongest part of the phrase. So when I do phrase building, I break it up into the hook and the punch and the close. So the punch being the strongest part. So I would probably add a bit more depth, like in between the thank you and the wonderful as you are part. So maybe like something about why they are the best mother, the best boyfriend's mom, and why why your relationship with them means so much to you, if that makes sense. But yeah, that's all I really have for this one.
Okay, thanks for that. So here's what I would say on this one. I don't really like the purple and the yellow going on here. I agree with Kirsta that you need to start somewhere else when you're testing this phrase, because this is not going to resonate with a lot of people. The yellow and the purple. Now, you did follow some advice I've shared in previous episodes where you're using colors that contrast, so you can at least read the text. So that's good. I'm gonna give you some props there. However, I'd go with something simpler to start with. The next thing I'd say is this font here is probably not the best font choice for my boyfriend's mom. I think that's lobster font, if I remember correctly. I would try to use something that's probably a little bit simpler and more legible and easier to read. Like if you just look at this section right here, you can see how people might struggle to read that. Like it's so busy. And the F there is like kind of the old cursive F. And people are just going to get lost. I think some people anyway will get lost with the font. The other thing I was going to say was this here, the phrasing, I would try to justify the font to really fill out this whole section and make all of the text bigger so that it's more legible and it's easier to be read. Yeah, other than that, I agree with a lot of what Kirst shared, but I think those are my quick tips for improving this would be right in that area there. So I'm going to hand it over to Jim. What do you got, Jim?
So in the first part of the phrase, my heart is at peace knowing that the man, I thought he was dead. I literally thought that like the dude died and he was saying my heart is at peace.
Good call out.
So I would like just line this whole part out. At least my heart is at peace. I would get rid of that part. Let me erase that. I would say, and then this, it almost feels like, so if he's not dead, he's definitely living still in mom's basement. Because it goes, the man I love is always loved, protected, and is being taken care of by a mom who refuses to kick him out of the house. So I would either eliminate this whole part of the phrase and then create a different hook with a better punch, what Kirst is talking about. And then as far as a close, thank you for raising him to be the amazing man he is today. I am truly lucky to be his girlfriend. And I would keep this. This is the best part. This is the best sentence of the whole thing. And then I'm so thankful for being accepted by your loving family. I would also get rid of, because it's not a job application. I would say, so as far as the phrase goes, keep thank you for raising him to be an amazing man, the amazing man he is today, and rework the rest of it. Because the other part, it's like I'm being facetious by like talking about I think he was dead, and then I think he lives at home. But it's just to illustrate. It's not to be mean. It's just to illustrate that you have different perspectives in one message. You go from saying one thing at this angle and then a completely other thing, and then it's another thing. And so it's like 4 separate beginnings of a message without tying it all into one. So the best part is thank you for raising him to be the amazing man he is today. Build off of that. Like that's a good segment, right? Build off of that to where it connects all the way through.
By the way, I actually agree with you on the my heart is at peace thing. When I first selected this for our teardowns, that is where my mind went as well. When I started reading the phrase, it confused me at first. And I remember I read this and I had to go double check that I read this part correctly.
Yes.
Because I thought I was getting into memorial.
Now, if it's a memorial piece, if it's a remembrance piece, then my heart is at peace knowing actually applies is a good hook or lead in for that type of phrase. But if you're just, going to a boyfriend's mom and the boyfriend's alive and you're still dating him, and I would avoid my heart is at peace.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. I do just want to give props to the niche, just because Kirst is right. It was really popular last year, but I just like the way we're thinking about niches here, because there are a lot of different niches you can go into besides just To My Mom. And you're not going to have nearly as much competition if you kind of segment down a little bit, like
Absolutely.
this person did here.
And if you rework that phrase, it is not a big leap to go from boyfriend's mom to mother-in-law, because it's the same type of thing, right? It's thank you for raising him to be the amazing man he is today, works for boyfriend, mom, and mother-in-law. So now you've got one phrase and two niches without a lot of re-edits or additions.
Cool. All right. Anything else before we jump to the next one?
No, I'm good.
All right, let's do it. Is it my turn now? I think it is. Okay. Oh, hang on. Oh, come on. There we go. I'm zoomed way in, so it's not the easiest to control. All right. So to my master chef mom, all good things come to those who wait. Reheating takes seconds. Stir fry takes minutes. Casserole takes hours. And baking me took 9 months. Your best creation ever. Happy Mother's Day from your favorite child. Okay, so first of all, I love how creative this one is. The phrase is funny. I mean, it's definitely going to be memorable. You're not going to see this around very often. My only concern is that this is going to be like a relatively tiny niche. It still might be worth testing, though, and going into it. Now, a couple other things. The phrase here, or the font choice here, is a little bit tough to read, so it might be worth while to pick a little different font choice, make it bigger, more eligible. Same goes with right here on the Happy Mother's Day part. It's going to be a little tough to read because it's very kind of chicken scratchy, if I could put it that way. Another thing you've got going on here it's going to be a little bit tough is this is very busy right there. I love the niche. I mean, props to exploring a different niche. You found a really funny phrase. You tied it into Mother's Day. I love the creativity there, but I'd move this chef hat somewhere else. Like maybe it could be over here or on the sides, or maybe get rid of the chef hat altogether. It may not even be needed. It might be a little bit of a distraction. Here's a question, because I don't know anything about this world. Do females wear the traditional chef hat, or is it different? I have no idea. But that might be something to look into, because that might be a showstopper right there. Another thing is this here, your phrase, it's got to be bigger, man. The phrase is fine. I like that you're doing humor. I like kind of the direction you took here, but this has got to be a lot bigger so that it's easier to read. So you can either use like capital letters with a bigger font choice, something like that. I like basically how the font is laid out, meaning that you maintain the rhythm and the tempo of the phrase by breaking it up like this, right? All good things come to those who wait. Stop. Reheating takes seconds. Stop. Stir fry takes minutes. Stop. Casserole takes hours. Here's where you need another stop. And then you put, and baking me took 9 months, your best creation ever. So if anything, that should drop down to the next line, in my opinion. Happy Mother's Day from your favorite child. I'm fine with signing off like this. From a design perspective, From a design perspective, there's something going on here that needs fixed. And it's particularly this bit here. There's something about that's not fitting super well underneath the Happy Mother's Day thing. I'd maybe even consider dropping that altogether. But yeah, those are my quick feedback on how to improve this. I would say maybe ditch the hat altogether. Choose some better font choices here. This whole section here needs to be bigger, and try to get as much out of that phrase as you can. You got tons of space where you could use bigger font. So that's what I think my feedback is for this one. Jim, you're up.
I would reverse it. I would do a black background with a white, just to add more contrast. What I've noticed is a lot of times when you do white, you sort of devalue the necklace because it's not as high a contrast, in my opinion. So it doesn't have to be straight black to white. It could be like a dark charcoal or something like that, or some other dark color with a white or a very, very light gray text. I don't mind the font choice for Master Chef. I don't necessarily agree with Master Chef, but I don't mind the font choice because it's almost like the signature, right? I think that's what the point was, or the reasoning behind it. It's like the Master Chef, the signature choice of Mom. Now, it's sort of like, are you I guess I wish I would have had a conversation on what the motivation is. So it's product market fit. From this, are we targeting people that like the show Master Chef? Are we targeting people who like to cook? Or are we actually targeting people who are chefs for their job? Right. So that's three different things. And one is much larger than the other. So I would play to the largest segment of that audience. And so that's if it's a mom who likes to cook, I would kind of gear it towards that. So I would almost remove like to my Master Chef mom, to the best cook on planet Earth mom, or something like that, or something along those lines. I would broaden that from Master Chef because it is sort of limiting. I also don't understand why you have three different font colors. You have like a burgundy for the Master Chef and then a bright red for Happy Mother's Day. I'm okay doing accent colors, totally fine, but two, right? So most of your text is in one, your call outs, your salutations, and the end in another one as those big call outs. That's totally fine. I like it, the little bit of a cheeky bit where baking me took 9 months, your best creation ever. But having both of those, your best creation ever, and from your favorite child, is almost overkill. Pick one, remove the other. So you could have the cadence of the poem as all good things come to those who wait, not comes. All good things comes to those who wait is not proper grammar. So it's all good things come to those who wait. Reheating takes seconds, stir fry takes minutes, casserole takes hours, and baking me took 9 months. Whew. Happy Mother's Day from your favorite child. Or, go baking took 9 months. Your best creation ever, or your best dish ever, or whatever. Happy Mother's Day, right? And then leave out the other one. And then reiterate the same thing that Michael said. Make the phrase symmetrical or flowing. Like, I don't mind if it's in a shape where it starts out wide and then progressively gets narrower as you go along, something along those lines. But I don't like the in and out because it's interrupting as you're trying to read and doesn't flow well. And you don't really think of that until you really start playing with the design. So I would make it symmetrical or all in a box. And those are my tidbits.
Thanks, Jim. Good call on the grammar. I didn't catch that. You're totally right about that. And also the best creation ever in your favorite child. Maybe that's what wasn't sitting right with me. Like something doesn't feel right about it. All right, Kirsta, you're up, buddy. What do you got to add?
So I think that this one, you mentioned about it being a sort of a small niche, but I think like there may be something there. Like for targeting side of things, I think you can target cooking and that style of things. I think it's also like we've been proven wrong that just sentimental cards work by Ronnie. Quarter 4 2020 with his funny motion. So I think like maybe adding the refinements which you guys pointed out and giving this a shot would be worthwhile because there is the targeting there. I mean, I know there's a cooking interest in Facebook. There's also a lot of Master Chef shows, so you can target those interests. So if we do some refinements and we get this up, I think it definitely has a chance. But I just resonate with all of the design elements. Keeping the font really big, refining the phrase to make it proper English, and then putting it out there and see what the audience has to say. Because like I said, even with the first design, I can give you all of the feedback which I have, but without trying it, you're never going to know if there is a potential market. And that's where I think the previous niche which we talked about, the boyfriend's mom, I think that's one that surprised all of us as well. Like so it without actually testing something, we can't really know. But I think this is something definitely that's working towards something that could be something big, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I totally agree. The only way you're going to know on this one is to test it. Also, you know, something that my brain just didn't think about when I made the comment on the niche size was like master chef here doesn't have to refer to like people who are actually cook like chefs as a profession. It's just lots of moms like to cook, right? So it fits super well right there. So I agree with everything you said. So hey, let's do this. Let's do one more tear down, and then what I want to do is let the audience help us tear down the fifth one. So this is number 4, right, Jim? I think it's going to be your turn.
Cool.
And then the next one we're going to let the audience do. So, all right, Jim, why don't you
All
take
right,
it
so
away?
that's right off the bat. I don't necessarily mind the pattern and the dark, but I don't know if they go well together. Like I'm a big fan of dark and light because it definitely highlights, as you can see, like look at the difference between, I can't move it and then show on the screen. The one we just did with the white background, right? The necklace itself sort of blends a little bit into the card. But if you go now to the one that we're looking at, the darker does allow it to pop out. It stands out. It's just contrasting, right? Light versus dark. This almost looks like a pattern of a really dark set of curtains, though. So I don't know if I would. I think I would probably lose the pattern because I don't see it adding much value to it. As far as what I would do, I would reorganize to my sassy stepmama. Sassy stepmama's fine. We have seen time and again that these different adjective-laden, like to my mom, gets boring, right? So to my sassy stepmama may fit that audience that you're targeting incredibly well. But I would reorganize this to where it fills this section like we've been pointing out so that when you do it, and you may just take, when I'm doing message cards, I actually I'll set it up and then I upload it to our app, right? And then I'm like, how does it look as the render? And if it shows this, then I'm like, okay, I need to stack the words a little bit. So it's almost like to my, and then sassy could be bigger, and then step mama, right? So to my.
Hey, can I jump in real quick, Jim?
Yeah,
Is it okay?
Sure.
So I do the exact same thing you just said, where as I'm working the design, I'll literally I have 2 monitors. I'll have a dual monitor setup. I'll have Canva on one side or Photoshop, and then I'll have ShineOn on the other side, and I will literally jump back and forth so I can upload the design to see how the necklace falls, and I'll make little tweaks that way. Kirsta, do you do the same?
I have something better for you guys. I have an actual hack, so you don't need to upload and check. So what you can do is if you're in Canva, you can turn on the rulers, and then you can it draws like these corners like here, so there'll be one here and then there'll be one here. So you kind of need to fit the message in this one. But the other thing is these corners pretty much align with where the necklace comes in. So you can actually just draw straight lines while you're creating the message card in Canva, so you know where it's going to sit. So this is pretty much in line with the corners. So that way, doing these more trickier message cards where you do some text here and then on the right hand side and then also here, you can know where the position is going to hit, so you don't type in there. So you can just quickly draw lines. Do we have a line tool here?
Yeah,
so
interesting, man.
Draw the lines in Canva and then delete them when your design is finished. So save a lot of time that way.
Yeah, so there's just a quick tip for everybody that you should jump back and forth in your design to make sure it all works. So anyway, back to you, Jim.
Yeah, so I kind of laid it out just in my head. I'd move to my up a little bit this way, and then so sassy is nice and big, and then so sassy, and then step mama. So it's kind of broken up, right? So it fits. Make it take up the space that you're given. It's a good flow there. As far as the phrase goes, I'll read the whole thing, but this is where we would normally anticipate like a Happy Mother's Day or an I love you or something like that. And all it says is from you. So now I have to read the whole thing to get it. And if you look at Hallmark and any other kind of greeting card ever written, they usually have some type of end comment, Happy Mother's Day. Like right now, this is not a Mother's Day product, and I kind of like it because then it can go for, if you find something, if this works, if you can get this to tweak or whatever and work, you don't have to stop selling it for Mother's Day. Like once Mother's Day is done, you can keep on selling it because it's To My Sassy Stepmama. So I'm not hating on you for not saying Happy Mother's Day in the thing, but end this with like, I love you or something along those lines, not just from you. Now, the phrase itself, you're not only a bonus, you're simply magnificent. I love how we don't even have to say out loud that I'm your favorite bonus child. I smile as it's so obvious that I got all my awesomeness from you. So reading the whole phrase, the from you part obviously makes sense. But if you're looking at how we would sort, like most eyes would go salutation, product, and then they'll read. I would move this up a little bit or change the direction to where it all fits on those 5 lines, make it a little bit smaller. I would call out a couple of specific words: magnificent and awesomeness. Look at the cadence of the number of syllables throughout. Magnificent is 4, awesomeness is 3, and then you've got a lot of 2s and 1s. So magnificent may get some people tongue-tied as they're trying to flow through it. So I'm not saying necessarily don't ever use a 3-syllable or 4-syllable word in your phrases. Just make sure the cadence of the phrase itself still flows and you don't like run over yourself or trip over your own feet as you're trying to read the phrase. Overall, the phrase it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great. And so for that, I would label this as like a C level on the phrase itself. It doesn't drive me to want to click. It doesn't make me want to cry. It doesn't make an emotional connection to my stepmom or from my wife to the kids themselves. It's good, but it's not great. So it's one of those things where I have to spend some time to like sort of dissect it and reapportion it. But that's sort of what my feedback is.
Kirsta, over to you.
Yeah, I just have to agree with Jim. I don't know about the mama. I think it would be more appropriate for mom and like sassy, I guess. If you're trying to hit a product which is gonna hit a wider, broader demographic, you probably just need to be careful with using really specific addressing in the message card. So To My Sassy Stepmama. So you really have to cater to those people that like that word. Whereas if you just go bonus mom, or sorry, To My Stepmom, like it's gonna appeal to majority, right? So it could work, but I would probably start with something broader and then like maybe retarget something really specific like this. So that's all I really have to add on that one.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a ton to add myself. I will say that all of you're getting much, much better at this. It's super clear that everybody is watching the Coffee with Michaels and the shots of espresso and absorbing all the content, because the message cards that we see you guys create seriously, they're fantastic. They're usually on point. The few things that kind of stood out to me about this is, so look, I kind of agree with Jim that, kind of this pattern back here is not, I'm okay with the pattern. The problem I'm having is the pattern with this font choice. So this is this serif or sans serif? I always get those mixed up, but this looks like Times New Roman. Serif?
Yeah. When they have the little dangly bits off of the letters, they're serif. When it's just a straight, it's sans.
So what I'm talking about here for everybody that can, so they can follow along here, is like, see how the A has got like a platform that the leg or the foot comes down into. That it's kind of busying all this up, and I think that with the pattern for me, it's a little bit distracting on the eyeballs. Like specifically, if you start like look right here in this place here, like it's just, if you kind of stare at that, for me, my eyes can very easily kind of get lost in that. So that's my only issue with the pattern and the font choice. I'd maybe go with the simpler font choice. I'd make the font size bigger, maybe even consider bolding it so it really stands out against the the background pattern here. And then, you know, obviously utilize all the space. Totally agree with Jim that this is a huge letdown right here to be like centered up and right at the bottom of the phrase. You'd expect that to be something totally different. And then the other thing I was going to add is just that there's something off in the phrase for me anyway. Could just be me, but here, I'm going to read it out loud and you guys tell me if you pick up on this. You're not only a bonus, you're simply magnificent. I love how we don't even have to say out loud that I'm your favorite bonus child. I smile as it's so obvious that I got all my awesomeness from you. So there are a few places this kind of messes me up. I'm not quite prepared for this to get into humor. And I think it's because even though we have sassy stepmama up here, this background does not smack at humor. It's too it's like regal. It's royal.
Yep.
So that's kind of weird. There's almost like a clash here in the tone between the design and the phrase. But the other thing is this part. I love how we don't even have to say out loud that I'm your favorite bonus child. I smile as I got all my awesomeness from you. Okay. The reason that part catches me off guard a little bit is for some reason, the first time I read this, I smile as it's so obvious I got all my awesomeness for you. I immediately was pulled into the biological mom niche for some reason, right? And then I had to adjust and go, no, this is like the stepmom, bonus mom space, which is fine. It can be. However, this would likely mean that the stepmom has been in the picture for quite some time in order for like this part of the phrase to totally land. Could be wrong about that, but that's the way it feels for me. And keep in mind, the buyer of a gift like that, you're going to be in your 20s or your 30s buying for a stepmom. So maybe that fits. I don't really know, but it kind of caught me off guard and made me had to read the phrase more than once. But
so I am this target market, right? Like I not only have a stepmom, I also have a wife who is a stepmom. So I'm in this market. This is me, right? Like I am your target market, whoever this is. And there's a lot of disconnection in this. You start funny, sassy stepmama. Your background is not sassy at all. You start loving, sentimental, and then you go funny. And then you go back to semi-sentimental. But as I read this as a stepchild and a father of stepchildren, I read this as almost as like a where's mom, right? Like would they be comfortable? Would I be comfortable enough to buy this to say that all of my awesomeness came from my stepmom? And I'm like, I'm gonna hurt my mom's feelings, even if it were true, right? Even if all the awesomeness came from the sassy stepmom because she was the best thing ever, and mom is ho hum. Am I okay, like consciously choosing to hurt my mom's feelings by purchasing this for my stepmom?
That's an interesting point too.
Right? Like that's how I read it. So it's like, I would never purchase this no matter how much it's not against, like, I love my stepmom. I love my wife. Obviously, I think my wife personally does a fantastic job with all three of our kids, but I still wouldn't want, I still, as awesome as she is, I don't think my children would ever purchase this gift for her because nothing else says I got all my awesomeness. Even as awesome as she is and as great as she is, there's still mom in the picture. So this would only work for a very, very small segment, in my opinion. Not only is it a stepmom gift, but the kid that's buying it would really only have the stepmom. Mom is not in the picture at all.
Yeah, that's a good point too. There's definitely some work here that needs to happen. But I at least like sassy stepmama.
I think that's great. But carry the whole theme throughout. Make the background sassy. Make the phrase about some form of sassy thing that sassy stepmoms do together. Maybe it's from stepdaughter, right? So stepdaughter buying for stepmom, and it's talking about all the fun times you had getting your nails done, or that one time that you shared mimosas for like 4 hours or something like that. Like
throw a curse word in there.
What?
Said throw a curse word in there.
an appropriate curse word, because
Exactly.
otherwise Facebook's going to flag it.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
All right, let's keep going, shall we?
Okay. Yep.
We
that's
good?
Yep.
Did everybody get to go? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
All right. All right. So we're gonna let the audience kind of do this one here. So I'm gonna read it out loud. Those in the audience read it with me, and then I want you to start dropping some comments on what you would do to improve this. Now, keep it constructive, right? We're not really here to tear anybody down or hurt anybody's feelings or anything like that. Keep it constructive. We're all family here, and just tell us how we could improve this to make it a winning product. So, okay, I'm going to read it. To my mom, so not mom, important distinction. To my mom, you held me close when times were tough, supported me when life got rough. You taught me how to love myself and chase what sets my heart aflame. You are my rock, my inspiration. You gave me life, its strong foundation. You mean the world for all you do. I love you, Mom, for being you. Okay, I'm going to go to the comments here. So you guys tell us what you do to improve it. So first of all, from Dave Mackey, too busy with the graphics. That seems pretty valid to me. What do you guys think?
I agree. I think the clip art up
Yeah.
here and over here is probably overkill. I don't necessarily mind the flourish down at the bottom. If you don't want to keep it like, because she says that it's sort of like, I love you, Mom, for being you is what traditionally would go down here.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're not going to have it down there, then that's fine. I don't mind the flourish if you're going to do that.
Yeah, I also would just say that I agree with you on the flourish because of the colors. You at least have some theming going on here. It's just there's no balance in the design because you don't have it over here either. Anyway, I'm doing their job now, so I'm going to shut up again. All right, let's go back to the comments here. Let's see. I think it looks a little busy. There's nowhere to start. Yeah, I'd agree with that. I mean, if you kind of take a step back and look at this, it's all over the place. Accent colors don't look good on the background. I don't know about that. What do you think of that, Jim or Kirsta?
Again, if you remove the icons, I don't mind the brighter yellow as a contrast. Again, specifically on mom or whatever, and then the bottom flourish, or if you decide to get rid of the bottom flourish and just move I love you, mom, whatever, for being you down there, that's fine.
Yeah, I'd say maximum of 3 colors, one background message, one font color, and one like contrast for the highlighted elements like the bottom and the mom.
Yep, I agree with that. So hard to read, too busy. Mom font is hard to read. The U and the M doesn't stand out. That's probably true. I mean, it looks almost like a W. But it's weird because for the most part, I actually kind of like the font. But I mean, if you look at this, that looks like a W right there. So I don't know. That could be true. Let's keep going. I like the contrast with the giraffes, but I don't see how the giraffes fit. Too busy, especially if it's the testing phase. This is the money comment for me. Jim and Kirsta, what do you think?
Kirsta, I'll let you go first on that one. Unless you're going to take it.
So I guess giraffes would probably be more of for me personally, I think that would be more of a friendship niche. I'd probably go with Love Knot, Eternal Hope, Luring, Forever Love. Like those would probably be my first choice. Although it can fit because it's it could be a daughter giraffe and a mum giraffe, so it could, or a son giraffe and a mum giraffe. It could fit, but you have to find people that like giraffes and maybe work it into the phrase somehow as well to make it fit the audience. So if you're going to go with the phrase like this one, I'd probably start with one of the other necklaces as a starting point, and then potentially try and twist it and phrase it to suit the necklace as well. So this is where like the Lucky in Love is a good one because it kind of looks like a horseshoe, so you can talk about luck or being lucky and luck or something around that nature. So if you can make the giraffes work somehow in your message, You know, there's the phrase where it's the old lion. You could do the old giraffe sort of flip of that phrase for this, and do it from the daughter to mum or the son to mum. Like flip that phrase over, and replace lion with giraffe, and then you can make it work that way.
Yeah, I tend to agree. Like test it because it might work, but it feels slightly out of place at first glance. The phrase to me. All right, I'm totally lost in the comments. Everybody, give me a second. They just
Well, you're looking. I'll give my 2 cents. I don't mind the bravery it takes to try a different necklace, right? Like everybody's like, well, I'll just do alluring or love knot. That's everybody's go-to, which means everybody's necklaces looks the same. Everybody's product looks the same. So if you're out there, I'm not saying that everyone go try giraffe, but I applaud the attempt at trying to use a different necklace. We have plenty of different necklaces out there that are just as pretty as love knot, and will sell just as well as love knot. So don't be afraid to try and test new necklaces. As far as this particular giraffe goes, you can target to people who like zoos, animals, Africa, all kinds of stuff beyond just specifically giraffes. So there's a market out there for that. I 100% agree with Kirst that if you're going to use a niched pendant like this, you definitely want to tie in the message. You could do something like make sure you stand tall, when you put your shoulders back and you head straight, you're the tallest one, you stand above the crowd. That type of messaging would work really, really well.
Cool. Thanks, Jim. All right. So Facebook user lost the rhythm in the second stanza.
That's what I was going to say. Everything else rhymed. And I'm like, where'd the rhyme go?
Yeah. It caught me off guard when we left the rhyme here and then we picked it back up here. It like threw my mind through a loop here. So totally.
So it's almost like if you can't find that second stanza to rhyme, just remove it and then keep the other three.
Yeah. Yep. I'd agree with that. Kirsta, anything to add on that?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Let's see, quotes strong, hearts need to go, distracting. We kind of agree with that. It rhymes, then doesn't rhyme, then rhymes again. Yep, just commented on that. Too many elements. That goes back to it's being busy. It's hard to know. It's hard to know where to start reading. Like first part on the left, then move down or to the right to read. That's a good point.
Valid.
Nothing stands out in the message. Maybe some bolding of words or italics, something catchy eye. It's kind of interesting that they brought up. It's hard to know. Like, do you do this right, or do you read? Do you do it like this, where you read this first, and then this second, and then this third, and this fourth? So, anybody I guess that's read the Bible before is going to be probably inclined to go straight down, while people that are used to comics and stuff will likely jump across. I don't know. That's an interesting comment. I've seen message cards do really well with this phrase layout, and they almost always 100% of the time do that. So anyway, thoughts?
If I were to do this phrase, obviously I would get rid of that and that and this and this. And I would keep this and move this down a little bit and move this a little down. And then I'd move this down long and in the center and probably a little bit bigger, because you mean the world for all you do. I love you, Mom, for being you.
Yeah. Punchline.
Right? So cool punchline. I agree with Kirst that you definitely want to split test the different necklace pendants. I would also, since we are 2 days away from Mother's Day in UK, I would flip this design after that to be Mom, and this to be Mom.
Yep, totally agree with that. All right, I think I'm seeing a lot of the same comments here.
Good, they're listening. They're paying attention, which means they're learning.
I'm just going to see if there's anything different. Anything different that kind of stands out here. I don't think so. Yeah, so this is good, man. I feel like this was really good, and I agree that everybody is picking this up. People are clearly listening, which is, I don't know, it's just really cool to see. I mean, 2 years ago or a year ago, whenever we started doing these, I was doing product teardowns, and they were bad. They were really bad, and they're amazing now. It's becoming more and more difficult to tear them down. So, hey, I've got some top 5 message card tips, and then we're going to move to wrap up here. So, first of all, always prioritize the phrase over the design. I think this is one of Kirsta's old winners that he gave us permission to show. Always prioritize the phrase over the design. The phrase is what makes money. It's the phrase that pays. If they cry, they'll buy. You've heard us say it a million times. You have to move people emotionally with the phrase. That's the most important thing you want to do. It can be any emotion, by the way. It can be they're touched because of the sentimentality of it. It can be a romantic thing. It can be humor. It can make somebody angry. It can make them grieve. It can literally be anything. Move them emotionally. They'll be more likely to buy. Try to keep the greeting card format. That's where it's to somebody, and then you have a body in which is like the message or the phrase, and then it's from somebody, right? So you have a greeting and a salutation, and then kind of a body in the middle. Make sure it's legible on a mobile device. So notice here on Kirsta's design, you've got kind of this dark, kind of deep royal or navy blue background with the white standing on top of it. And notice his font choice here. It's pretty clean, right? It's a sans serif font, which means the legs don't have any feet or whatever. And he bolds certain elements of the phrase that are supposed to stand out, that are supposed to be impactful. You want to do something similar with your stuff, and it needs to be legible on a mobile device. So, if somebody's scrolling on Facebook or whatever, if they come across this message here, you want them to be able to read it without clicking or having to zoom in or pinch with their fingers or anything like that. So you have to keep that in mind. And then finally, test with templates. We didn't really talk about that here, but the idea is that you kind of come up with some font choices and a basic template. So like, navy blue background, this font for the To My Wife bit, this font for the Love Your Husband. And then you basically sit there and you just churn and burn a bunch of phrases on the same design template to see if you can find a winner. So those are the top 5 kind of message card tips. You follow these, you'll be ahead of the pack. You'll be in the top probably 5% of everybody putting these out. Okay, I'm going to move to wrap up. Before I do you guys have anything you want to end with? Jim or Kirsten?
No, I will say that I am very impressed with the quality of these, even from the one that I was on late last year, I think it was. Just from that one to this one, the improvement was phenomenal. So keep up the good work, everybody.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'd say the same thing. Kirsta, do you have anything?
No, I'm good. I think I agree with both of you guys that the quality is getting much better, which means the competition is also heating up. So I'm looking forward to seeing some winners within our community here. So keep pushing those designs out and keep pushing the level up for everyone else. So great work, guys.
Yeah, you're exactly right. The competition is going up, but I don't think we're anywhere close to saturation. When you consider Etsy, Amazon, Facebook, TikTok, I mean, it's we're not even close. All right, wrap up. First of all, don't forget Mother's Day. UK and Ireland is 2 days away, so happy Mother's Day to anybody from the UK and Ireland. Thanks for all you do for humanity. May 1st, if you speak another language, you can get kind of an edge in Hungary, Lithuania, Portugal, Romania, or Spain. Try to take advantage of those. If you know another language, you're going to have a serious edge in these markets. May 8th is the big kahuna. We have USA, Australia, Canada. Canada should be bold here. And then New Zealand. All English-speaking markets, all are going to be buying a ton of stuff for Mother's Day. Again, it's kind of a compulsory holiday. If you don't buy something for your mom on Mother's Day, you're going to be black sheep of the family. So you have to do it. These are my favorite holidays because tons and tons and tons and tons of people are going to be buying gifts. So May 8th is the big kahuna. Everybody wants to, we want everybody to focus on. May 26th, you have Poland, which is a surprisingly good market. And then May 29th, you have France and Sweden, which are going to be big as well. All right. If you like ShineOn, if you made any money with ShineOn, if you think we're the best thing since sliced bread, and you want to, improve your friends' lives, please share ShineOn with your friends. Share it in your Facebook groups that you're in Skype groups, in masterminds, wherever people are, where they're doing e-commerce stuff and they want to, get into print on demand or whatever. Please share ShineOn with your friends. If you do, and they sign up through your special affiliate link, which I'm going to share with you how to get in just a second, you'll earn 75 cents on every order they drive. So, definitely want to do this. You have a big opportunity to make some money. So to unlock this, you have to have at least 100 sales. Go to analytics, then referrals inside the dashboard. Up here in the top right is going to be your referral link. Share this with your friends. If they sign up and they drive some orders, you'll get 75 cents an order. All right, until next time, if you're not selling with us and you want to, go to shineon.com. Take 60 seconds to sign up. It's super easy to get started. And honestly, it's you're looking at the 3 people on this call. It's changed all of our lives. I mean, it seriously has. I mean, ShineOn and what ShineOn has allowed us to do and the sales it's allowed us to bring, it's pretty much unbelievable. And it's true for a ton of people in the audience as well. So it's pretty cool stuff we're doing over here. Go check it out. It's the greatest entrepreneurial opportunity in the history of the world, as far as I'm concerned. If you're watching on YouTube and you're not in our Facebook group, go join it. bit.ly/go ShineOn, bit.ly/go ShineOn to join our Facebook group. Super engaged community. It's a lot of fun. And if you're watching on Facebook and you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, go do that. youtube.com/c/ShineOnPod to do that. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, do all that fun stuff. And then finally, follow us on Instagram, instagram.com/ShineOn or @ShineOn. We got a bunch of new content coming out on Instagram. So everybody, thank you for joining. Till next time, happy selling. Have a great weekend, buddy.
Bye.